Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump, and today I'm doing my top 5 least favourite unique boss fights in video games. Now, I did a similar video last week talking about some of my favourite unique boss fights in video games, and this video is going to be talking about something similar, in the sense that in video games that there are boss fights that are the same thing sort of thing in a lot of other games that you fight a boss, you beat them, you win, that sort of thing. But with from my perspective, when it comes to unique bosses, it's how you fight them or how you can find them, that sort of thing. And yeah, that's how I generally think when it comes to unique bosses. And this video is just going over some of my least favorite types of those bosses, and how you fight them, where you can find them, that sort of thing. So yeah. So for number 5 is Tombstone from the first Insomniac Spider-Man game. Now, with this fight, I do like the side quest you do to get to Tombstone, because you first hear about him from MJ, because she finds out that Tombstone is creating something for Martin Lee. And we don't know that yet until later in the game, where we find out that he captures, that Martin Lee captures one of the developers of the Devil's Breath stuff. So yeah, and that being a giant truck thingy, and then I think sometime like after you've been with MJ, you can do some side missions to try and get to Tombstone. And when it comes to the Tombstone fight, it's fun, but I think as a whole, it kind of just reminds me of the Wilson Fisk fight and any fight you've had with thugs. And yeah, it's fun. I do enjoy like going around the workshop that you're in, where Tombstone works. But overall, it just kind of reminds me of every other thug-based fight you've had when it comes to like crime-based shenanigans. And yeah, and overall, it's okay. It's just okay. It's like it just kind of reminds me of that. So yeah. For number 4 is Giant Eye Plant and Massive Eye. Now these two are from the Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass, and these are pretty much the same thing in the sense that of how you fight them, but they are different of how in terms of design and their attack patterns, and they're kind of the same things, so that I'm kind of like meshing them together into one spot. So yeah, so for the Giant Eye Plant, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's basically this giant Deku Baba plant thing that kind of rises out of the ocean, and its attack is that it spews these sort of crystal spike things at you, and it's up to you to kind of dodge out of the way and try and hit his eye. Massive Eye is basically this giant whale thing, and I think it shoots lasers or something. I'm not 100% sure. It has been a while since, or it's been a long time since I have played Random Hourglass. So there are some bits that I might not remember about the fight. But with Massive Eye, it's basically this giant flying whale with 3 eyes on either side of his body, and it's kind of similar to Giant Eye Plant, and yeah, it's not really good. I think it's just because it's in your boat, and I do enjoy some of the boat sections in Phantom Hourglass. Maybe not all of it, but I think it's just because of how easy it is and just straightforward it is. And you only get to fight Massive Eye once, where it was with Giant Eye Plant, you fight it twice. I think the first time you go and fight it around the part where you go to the Temple of Courage, or where before you go onto that island where it is. The second time, I think, is on a different island somewhere else. I don't 100% remember the name of the island at the moment. So yeah, and you only get to fight Metafy once, and I think that's where the Gorons are. So yeah. For number three is the second Moldarak fight. Now this is found in Skyward Sword in one of the I believe it's the ship curation bay area in the Lanayru section in the Sand Sea, and you can find Moldarak at the end, and it's pretty much the same thing as the first Moldarak fight. There's nothing really added on to it. It's not like how in Tears of the Kingdom, where you can find several battle Taloses around, and there's basically just a regular Talos with goblins on his back. And with the second Moldarak, it's just Moldarak, but it's in the Lanayru area. Well, it is still in the Lanayru area, but it's just the same fight. This second Moldarak doesn't really add any extra moves or anything. It's just copy paste. Maybe if it had like two additional arms as well, maybe that could have made it more interesting. But no, it's just another Moldarak fight, and that's it. So yeah, it's not really fun. For number two is the Sludge-like from Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I do like the inclusion of the like-likes in the game, and I do like how, like with a lot of the other enemies, like the Gleeoks, the Choo-Choos, the Keys, the like-likes all have different forms. So you've got your normal like-likes, your rock-based like-likes, the fire and ice-based ones, even the electric ones, and the Sludge-like is no different. It's a different version of the like-likes. The only problem is you only fight one of them, and that's during the Sidon quest of the game, and it's fine. It's just another like, and it just feels too easy to fight, I would say, because you can get it. You can hit it quite easily, and if you want to hit its weakness, you have to use either Sidon's ability, which is this water protection shield thing, or use any of the Choo-Choo jellies you might have, or the splash fruits you might have in your inventory, and it's fairly easy. It's like, and it goes down in like a few hits if you have like a good enough weapon for it. So yeah, I think it's a good idea in concept on paper, but I think it's just one of those things where the execution is a whole lot better. Well, no, not a whole lot better. I think the execution just fell short. Yeah, but yeah, the Moldarak is slightly better than Sludge-like in terms of bosses, but not good as a boss fight. It's okay, I guess. It's fun, the Moldarak, but when it comes to Sludge-like, it could have been a whole lot better. So yeah. And for number one are the Trolls from God of War 2018. Now, with the Trolls, I think there's some enjoyment to come out of them, is because they're different elemental-based trolls. So that there's a fire one, there's some regular ones, there's one in Helheim, which is an ice-based one, and they're fun, but I think they're quite repetitive. And you could say something similar with the Valkyries, where it's just fighting the same cursed spirit again and again. But with the Valkyries, when it comes to them, they all have their own unique moves, and they can be told apart. So, for instance, there's one that can summon Draugrs, there's one that can summon an ice storm, there's one that can blind your vision and you can't really see that much ahead of you, and that's really cool. I think the Valkyries, I can imagine in my head which one I'm thinking about when it comes to their attacks and stuff. But with the Trolls, it's just using the same hammer pillar thing, and the only one that's actually quite unique is the one in Helheim, where it can just teleport everywhere, and it can summon these giant waves of ice. And that's the only one that feels unique to me and stands out over the others. So yeah, so overall the Trolls aren't really the best. I mean, they're fun, but they just feel like again, like with Moldorak, copy paste. It's just they feel fun, but they're it's just too repetitive. So yeah, so that's been my list for the top my top 5 least favorite unique bosses in video games. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.